Hi Leo, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your January 2022 Is It in the Cards Love Tarot reading. This is a love tarot reading for all Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you to all of you for your support. I send you love and the energy to attract more love into your lives every single day. And if you're new here, welcome to you. I post new readings every Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't resonate, you can come back in a couple of days. Every Friday, it's a general reading. Mondays are a different style every week. So today, of course, is a love reading, but other weeks I do a more detailed Celtic cross style reading. I did a yearly predictive reading for the year of 2022, and that was fun. So if you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. All right, what advice do you have for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus about love, please? What messages do you have for Leo about love, please? What does Leo need to know, please? Okay. All right, so we'll start here by drawing 3 cards for your energy, 3 cards for the person you're attracting, 3 cards on the advice. You've got the Strength, the King of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. They have the Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Page of Cups. Your advice is the Knight of Wands, the World, and the 9 of Swords. Well, it's interesting because the 9 of Swords is about ending a cycle. The World is about beginning a new one. You have the 8 and you have the 9 in the advice. It's time to end whatever's been restricting. They say cut it free, cut yourself free. If there's something you've been doing that keeps you guarded from love, if it's an old wound, if it's something from the past, but I want to address that before we get into it. I love to see the World in the advice, so that's a beautiful energy to have. And I do feel like whoever you're attracting here too, they may be working on themselves as well. So you've got Leo here, you've got earth, air, and fire and water. So you've got all the elements. So again, it's an interesting energy here that represents you because obviously there's 2 8s here, and that's movement, that's vibration. But 8s are positive numbers. If you're seeing the angel number 888, that indicates that good things are on the way, okay? And with love, and it's a very positive energy that way. But with the Strength card, that can be repressed emotions. So be aware of that. So if there's something that's holding you back with that 8 of Swords, or you feel like I just keep attracting people that are not a match, I don't understand why, there may be something embedded in your subconscious that is bringing that forward, some belief, some limitation there. Now with Strength though, it's also about overcoming things. So if there's somebody that you meet here and there's some kind of an issue, or it seems like a barrier, maybe your work schedules don't align, or maybe they've gone through a difficult breakup or even a divorce and there's some financial things going on with them, I still feel like and it's possible they're getting a divorce or they've been divorced with just the energy here. I feel like you're going to work through that. You're not going to see it as a turnoff necessarily, okay? And not that I'm saying they're going to come with all this baggage, but that's possible for somebody that they're getting out of a relationship. With the King of Pentacles, though, that King of Pentacles draws stability. So it's a wonderful energy in relationships. You might also have somebody who comes in and gives you good advice, gives good direction. And they also may be instrumental in helping you meet somebody if it's meeting somebody new. But with that King of Pentacles, it also is feeling that place of being fulfilled. The Kings represent mastery of the suit. And so Pentacles, of course, we know are about money, and he's got, his throne is covered in his robe is covered in grapes. That's a sign, a symbol of wealth in the material world. So some of you, maybe you've been putting a lot of time into your career, and that feels restrictive with that 8 of Swords. However, the 8 of Swords can be too much thinking. And I feel like if there's there's too much dialogue, too much looking at the problem, or too much thinking that it's going to be difficult, this is hard. We don't want to get into that because that makes it hard. We get what we believe, we get what we are. So be Strength, be the King of Pentacles, but we don't want to stay in that 8 of Swords because we don't want to attract restriction. Now, of course, with the 9 of Swords being here, I do feel like they're trying to tell you it's the end, it's the conclusion of whatever this difficult energy is in your life, and it's a brand new beginning. I love to see the World and the Knight of Wands together. They're kind of a fun couple combination there. So I mentioned here with this person, it's possible they're getting a divorce with this Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords can be a card of a lawyer, so be aware of that. But it's also somebody who's very, very intelligent, can be maybe more on the cerebral side. They like to analyze things. Maybe they do data analysis or some kind of data thing for a job even. But with that Queen of Swords, they may have very good technical skill in some area, a lot of training, education, very sarcastic kind of humor, very to the point, blunt, good with their words though, so it doesn't have to be somebody who's rude. You can be upfront without being rude. How's that? But I do feel like they've got a very analytical energy, especially with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a wonderful energy, but it's not a lot of action. We know that. It's really analysis. And so with the High Priestess, her gown turns to water. So it's the I feel like it's the precipice of turning to love, right? Water in the energy here is all about love and a good life. And so with this High Priestess, she's also the card of the psychic. And maybe they've gone and gotten a psychic reading for kicks. That might be part of it too, why she's showing up here. But the High Priestess also works on the subconscious beliefs. And so anything that they would need to do may be represented by this energy here, clearing out, getting a new belief system for however this is. It may be a whole new way that they're looking at their lives, new beliefs about love, new beliefs about why they're even here. And so there's balance though in the High Priestess, the equal armed cross, and of course the two pillars. So I do feel like they don't have an energy of being out of whack or out of balance in some way. I do feel like if they dealt with that, they're coming through it. Now, they don't have to be divorced. I don't want that to be an all or nothing statement or blanket statement, but for somebody here, I did get that. Now, the Page of Cups, I feel like they're ready to have fun in a relationship. And with that Knight of Wands energy and the advice, it might even be them that comes through in this, like getting out, having fun, opening up the doors to try new things. It feels like a very fun, lively kind of energy and relationship that you're entering into here. It's law of attraction energy with that Page of Cups, but it also can be the return of an ex. So it could be somebody from a long, long time ago and you've been away for 20 years. You haven't seen this person in a long time, and here they come back around, and you've lived your lives for however long it's been, done the things you've needed to do. The timing can be wrong. I just talked to somebody the other day that met someone they're in a deep relationship with, and they worked at the same place at the same time 10 years ago, never met each other. Timing wasn't right. But with this advice here, we've talked about the Nine of Swords a bit. The Nine of Swords is interesting compared to the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords, the gray indicates knowledge. The Nine, the black, indicates ignorance. So there may be something here coming to the end of not having certainty, not having clarity, and bringing you into a realization with that Nine of Swords that lets go of that anxiety, because we don't want to be in that in a new relationship. We want to be in the world. The world is synergy. It's meeting somebody, especially because you've got the Knight of Wands here, that's going to have very complementary energy, somebody who's going to be fun to be with. The world is also, too, a card of travel and seeing the world. So with this, it starts a new cycle that delivers a huge change. I mean, it's a change for the better, though. It's a change into a direction that's going to be a long-term relationship, something very meaningful, and it's real love. I mean, it feels like everything you wanted when you're in the energy of the world. It's true happiness. It's really even more than that. It's absolute bliss being in that energy. Now, she also dances in the Wreath of Victory, and that's a portal into the divine. So with the High Priestess being here too, quiet the mind, meditate, really get into that energy that creates worlds, because also with the Strength card, that is a card of using power, but in a way with compassion. It's not overpowering anybody. It's not casting spells to get somebody to change their will. And with that Knight of Wands here, I don't feel like you need to anyway. That's an energy of really wanting to move forward. Now, it can be a bit in and out, But I feel like in this particular reading with the energies that are here, I actually like it with the High Priestess in the World. It gives you sort of that little spunk, that spark, that passion. The Knight of Wands too is a very flirtatious energy. So I do feel like whoever you're meeting, they're going to be somebody who gives a lot of compliments both ways. Okay, so even though they have kind of an analytical, cerebral energy, I do feel like they have enough, I don't want to say game exactly, but you know, they're not boring and dull with that Knight of Wands appearing. So I love it. So is it in the cards? I'll say yes. I feel like you're ending a cycle, especially if it's been heavy and you just haven't felt quite right or quite yourself. Here you go into a new cycle and it brings in happiness and bliss. So let's see here what the angels have to say for you, Leo. Well, you have success, and again, with the World, I would agree with that, and ask for help from others. I mentioned that briefly when we talked about that King of Pentacles. There may be somebody that comes in that does give you a little bit of good advice or direction. Romance, we like this, and it's like romance of a lifetime right there. A year from now, they say, for the timeline. But I wouldn't let that scare you off. I mean, it really is an energy where you start to pick up momentum. So it doesn't mean you won't meet anyone for a year. It's just in a year, who knows? You could be married. They give you a yes. So good things are on the way for you, Leo. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.